Hi everyone, welcome to Maximum Attack Rallying and to your Monday dose of rallying nonsense. You find me in a different location today. I'm back in the UK for a few days. More on that to come. I will share some stuff, not rally stuff, but car stuff about that. So I'm staying with a friend, which means we've got a slightly different backdrop as we look at the garden of his very new house. So you'll have to excuse the lack of flash editing and fancy clips in the background today. I wanted to do this very quickly just so I could speak about Rally Chile, but with being here I don't have lots and lots of time spent editing, so you're just going to have to like it. But we have to talk about Rally Chile, don't we? Because it was a sensational win for Sebastien Ogier. I think he has only done 8 rallies this year compared to 11 for everyone else, but he now leads the championship by 2 points, which is sensational, and his drive was indeed sensational as well. It was not an easy win by any means, but he was tenacious, wasn't he? He did not give in. It took him a while to get into the groove, particularly on Friday. It was pretty slow out of the blocks on Friday morning. Setup wasn't right. I don't think he was complaining about that at one stage, and he wasn't very happy with his times, but as the day wore on, things got better. And by Saturday afternoon, he was in the lead of the rally, and that was that, wasn't it? Even though he wasn't happy with his driving, that was that. No one was going to catch him at that point. 7 stage wins, I think there was. The most of those came on across Saturday and Sunday. Top Sunday points, top power stage points. He's gone from 3rd in the standings to 1st, and you know, I think that 2-point advantage going into Central European rally could be absolutely crucial. You know, running 1st on the road there is super important with all the mud that gets dragged out. You know, it's the opposite of Chile, where running 1st on the road is a bit of a curse. It's going to be a massive advantage to him going to that rally. We've got Japan after that, so this could be the thing that very much swings the momentum in his favour. So these 2 wins, Paraguay and Chile, have been absolutely vital and could be the thing that ultimately defines the title race. So fantastic performance from him. Let's just move on though to Elfyn Evans. He would of course have been the man hoping to take that Central European advantage, and I think if he had done that, if he had still been leading the championship after last weekend, he probably would have gone on to win the championship. Now that could very much be Ogier. I think he will be disappointed to lose the championship lead over the weekend, but it was not a bad rally by any means. You know, it was another plucky performance. I've talked a lot about how he's been grinding out points, and he definitely did that. I thought he was going to really struggle on Friday, 1st on the road, which could be really difficult in Chile. But the conditions seemed to work in his favour, and he actually led the rally after the opening loop on Friday, which I think was a surprise to me. But just with the way that the conditions went, you know, things just went in his favour, didn't they? And that put him in a good position. Friday afternoon was not so good. I think things were more as you would perhaps have expected, and he dropped down to 5th place, didn't he, and was looking like he might have kind of gone out of the lead fight, but he forced his way back up the order, and you know, really good performance on Saturday to get to the front in the morning. He did benefit a little bit from others. I think, you know, it's safe to say that the issues that some others had, who we will come to, did help him a little bit, and I'm sure he will not be happy to have lost out to Sebastien Ogier in what was effectively an equal fight come Saturday. But it wasn't a bad weekend by any means, was it? And I think it shows that determination, and you know, he's not giving up. He's driving to the rhythm that he wants to drive to, and he's grinding out results. And yes, a win would have been better. Having the lead going to Central European rally would have been better. But, you know, this is a 2-point gap. It only takes one minor issue, and we've seen lots of those over the last few events, to change everything. So he is absolutely and completely in the fight, isn't he? Others were not so lucky. However, I have mentioned that already. Kalle Rovanpera's title chances took a big hit, almost as big as the hit to his tyre on Friday. So he went off the road slightly, hit a bank, and that took a tyre off the rim and basically put him out of the victory fight, knocked him down the order on Friday. He, I think he recovered to 6th place, if I want to recall correctly, but he's now 21 points behind. He is not out of the championship battle by any means. 21 points is not an insurmountable gap, is it, with the way we've seen things fluctuating over the last few rallies, but it is a bit of a mountain to climb, and he will have to hope that some of his bad luck befalls some of his rivals. You know, I think he now needs both Ogier and Evans to have a bit of misfortune over the next couple of rallies to just help to drag him back in. You know, even if he wins every rally and one of those drivers finishes second, you know, it's going to be a big ask to win the championship. You know, I think it will be beyond him, won't it, in terms of points available. So he needs them to have a little bit of bad luck. So he's not out of it, but he's on the brink a little bit. I think when it comes to the other man involved in the title fight, Ott Tanak, he probably is out of it now. He will also be wishing for some better luck. So he was well in the mix on Friday and then suffered engine failure on the final stage of the day, which was bad enough. Obviously put him out of the fight for victory, but he hoped he would be able to come back and score some decent points for Sunday, but that was not to be because the engine that the team fitted to the car for him to come back out on Saturday, they elected to not do all of Saturday because there was some doubt about the engine, and I think he left the rally with just a single point for Sunday, so that was not very good, was it? Not a good weekend at all for him. He's now 43 points off the championship lead, and I think basically it's kind of done, isn't it? What he needs is for really Evans and Ogier to have a non-score each to really drag himself back into it, and I think that is pretty unlikely, isn't it? I think that's pretty unlikely at this stage. So it wasn't all bad for Hyundai, in fairness. So Adrian Formeau, he finished third, so it's a good performance from him, some good pace, and finally a little bit of luck to get him back on the podium. So that was nice to see. He finished ahead of Thierry Neuville, who didn't have a great weekend. There was flashes of speed, and at times he was kind of in the fight, but again, just the car wasn't quite working for him. So yeah, it's been a difficult year for Neuville, hasn't it? Sami Pajari finished fifth in the Toyota, probably a decent performance for him in Rally 1 terms. He was setting some good times at one point, finished ahead of Takamoto Katsuta, who did not have a good weekend, obviously didn't do Chile last year, lacked a bit of experience, but just not a great performance. I think we need better from him. Similarly, Gregoire Munster, he was next. What can you say about Munster? I'm doubting whether he is really deserving of that seat. Unfortunately, he obviously got that stage win in Monte Carlo earlier this year, but really I think we need to see more progression from him. Otherwise at M Sport, not great. Josh McAleen had electrical issues, didn't he, that sidelined him, and Alberto Heller, who was in a rented Puma, he was also sidelined by mechanical problems. So yeah, not a great weekend for M Sport by any means, and I think we may be reaching a point where questions are going to have to be asked about that lineup. Let's not finish with anything negative though, let's finish with something very positive indeed, and that is WRC 2, which was won by Oliver Solberg. He won the category in Chile and therefore won the championship. What can you say? What can you say about Oliver Solberg? He has consistently been the fastest driver in a Rally 2 car for the last 2 years at least. He scored that sensational overall win in Estonia when Toyota allowed him to drive a Rally 1 car for that rally. There's not much to say, is it? He is the man right now in Rally 2. Yes, his job was made a little bit easier this weekend by mechanical retirements for Johan Rossell and Gus Greensmith. He still had to beat Nikolai Gryzin, which he did, and it's impossible to say that he doesn't deserve that championship, and he doesn't deserve a shot in Rally 1, which I suspect will come next year. I don't know if it will be full time, but I am almost certain that somehow we will see him on at least some rallies next year in a Rally 1 car. So very well deserved, fine performance from him, and it's nice to see things working out. It's not always been easy. He had a difficult period with Hyundai, didn't he? So it's great to see him back on top of his game and finally wrapping up the WRC 2 trophy. So that was it. That was Rally Chile. It was a dramatic one, up and down with the results and the positions for much of the weekend until Sebastien Ogier took control on Saturday. But it was a thriller, wasn't it? And it's nice to see the title battle continuing to rage. 2 points between the top two, and I think it probably is between those top two now. Once again, you know, it's been a while, isn't it, since Ogier and Evans have fought for a title against each other, but it's going to be very exciting to see how that plays out, and if it's as dramatic and close as it was back in 2020 and 2021. So very exciting indeed. Otherwise, I think I will just say to let me know in the comments below what you think of Rally Chile and who you think is going to go on and win the title. Otherwise, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button while you're there, and I will see you again in the next video.